Hi, my name is Ismar, and in part 5 of the preparation videos, I'd like to show you how to use the surveillance station for event research and data export. The core of this video refers to the research of events using the timeline function. It is crucial that you always have an overview of the video recordings and can find relevant events directly. Furthermore, it is important to export your created video recordings quickly and easily. The recording feature will help you here so that the viewing of all recordings and download of your video data works properly. First, I'll introduce you to a few key features of timeline function. You can see from the predefined color markings whether an event has taken place or not. For example, the color gray in the timeline indicates that no event has been detected. Turquoise indicates that an event has been detected in the timeline. In the history, you have the possibility to create appropriate layouts, set filters, or search for event times. This so-called smart search helps you find recorded events such as motion detections or missing objects faster. Note that the feature is available only for our surveillance station client. To help you understand both features, here's a live demo. We are now in the surveillance station interface. By clicking on timeline, a new window will open and we can start searching for events. At the top left is the calendar, which allows you to select and analyze the day of the event. By clicking on the day, you can see all cameras that have recorded an event in the middle. You can select various layouts similar to the live screen mentioned earlier and use the filter area to display desired recording modes. For example, if you only want to sort the detected events by motion detection, we'll leave the check mark option and uncheck all the other modes to make them disappear. This search helps us when a quick or accurate jump to the respective hour, minute, or second is required. Now that you have gained an insight into the timeline, let's take a look at the Smart Search. Note that the Smart Search only works with Surveillance Station client. This is because the client display is smoother and more stable when running on a computer. Select the appropriate server, camera, and date in the upper left corner under Source. In the next step of the configuration, set your preferred search criteria. For example, motion detection, missing object, or no standby zone. In contrast to the timeline, the Smart Search searches for detected events instead of mentioned recording modes. To make the event search even more precise, you can mark a self-defined area for the search restriction in a predefined grid. The so-called detection area helps you accurately define your pattern by using add, delete, mark all, or delete all. Below this, you will find search area again, which works exactly as in the timeline. You can also view your daily events directly from the timeline. Now we are going to take a closer look at the organization of the video recordings. There is a record function in Surveillance Station for this purpose. At the beginning, it is worth knowing that all recordings can be distinguished by color. For example, if a video clip is marked with gray box, it is continuous recording. A motion detection is usually marked with a green box when the corresponding recording contains motion. The load icon for the save process is indicated by this star symbol. Basically, recording is primarily concerned with data export and the limitation of existing video recordings with the help of filters. You can also activate a time slice playback for each recording, which divides the recording into time-shifted cuts or windows. To make this topic more understandable, we will now switch back to the live video. We will go back to Surveillance Station interface and click on Recording icon. A list with all available recordings of respective cameras will be opened. On left, under all dates, you can see the recordings of cameras created so far. If you don't like the list view, you can switch to the thumbnail view. Each displayed recording can be played, downloaded, labeled, locked, or deleted. We will quickly make one new label. We will give this label color red, and let's name this label House. Lastly, we will apply this label to the P1355 axis camera. In the Export tab, you can move your recordings to other network folders. To do so, first we click on Add. Then we will see a wizard for exporting recordings. We call this archive Recording Home, and we'll leave the source and destination server as the local host. Under the storage destination, we use our default surveillance folder and click Next. Then we will select the Hikvision camera, for example. Once we are done, we click Next. Now we define a time period consisting of start date and end date. After we are done, we click on Finish and the export is initiated. Depending on how many video recordings you have available per camera, this process can take a few minutes. To speed up the whole process, I have already prepared an export. We will now see that we import the archive recording in the Mount tab. First, we click on Add and we will select our shared folder called Surveillance. We set the check mark at the above recording with the name Test and click on OK. Then we click on Yes and look at all recordings of the previously selected camera. The next tab, Storage, shows you which network folders are available as storage locations and on which server. You can also add new folders or remove the existing ones here. In the last tab, Advanced, you can force the rotation of recordings, update the recording index, and set the format for downloading video recordings. Finally, I'll show you how to activate the time section. Please note that the respective recording must provide at least 1 minute of video material before you can activate the time section. Double-click on the appropriate recording to open the recording player. Then click on the gear wheel symbol at the bottom right and the settings will open. Afterwards, set the check mark for the time slicing and the video clip will be displayed in 4 parts. The main advantage of time slicing is the more effective analysis of the existing recordings.